Okay, everyone, this is a spontaneous video, and I'm one that I just am doing on the fly, and this is for several of you watchers, and I can't remember whether it's Bean or Woohoo or Norman. Anyway, someone has asked me about paths, and excuse the mess, but I'm really cleaning up and moving things upstairs and downstairs and all around, which you will find out later in future videos. But for the moment now, I'm gonna do this quick little on the fly video on paths. Specifically, this is a multifloral cross, and it's got a name. Anyway, it's Path Eopilum lamianum, number 1 times adductum. And this path just finished blooming for me. And it has this fan coming up, which will produce next, the next blooming cycle. And when you begin to see the emergence of another little pup, as both of these once were pups, that means that the plant is ready and is on schedule to keep producing growths and blooms. The growths will produce the blooms, but only once they become bloom size. Now this one is bloom size, and what I wanted to show you was just the importance of repotting. And I know I've said that, and it is important whether they are seedlings or whether they are bloom size, because paths they're epiphytic, but they are often terrestrial, as those fuzzy, plump, they look like underground roots, as what a terrestrial would look like. So these are more moisture requiring, I should say. So at the same time that they need good drainage, they also need a medium or media that keeps air going through and quickly dries the roots off. But the media also has moisture in it. And for most people, it is sphagnum moss, or it could be some sort of husk, cocoa husk. I use a mixture of both, and I'll show you. Generally, when they're seedlings before they are bloom size, it is always a seedling mix, which is the tiny, tiny, tiny bark. And I don't have a sample of it, but it looks like all of the regular bark mix, except it's very, very tiny. And that's because the roots are tiny then. But as it matures, the roots become bigger, more sustainable, more plump and full of energy. And so while they need moisture, they also need aeration. And that's usually in the bottom of the pot, because that's where the moisture often rests. And the roots often will become stagnant and, will mix in with that stagnant water. And that's where the rot and the eventual demise of the plant. So what you really want to do is you don't want to upgrow too big, because they want to be tight in a pot, like dendrobiums, cattleyas as well. They don't want to move around, but you do want to make room for future growths. So I am moving up to this size, and I've already got a mixture of some fairly well aerated and very well drained mix. And you see, you only want the plant to be, or the media, when you refill it, you just want it to be slightly below the level of the bottom, so that when the plant is watered, whether it's up top or wicked from below, there is no danger of possible infection or some fungicide because of the water and the moisture collecting there, which is quite common. So that's an important thing. And that's for when you mount all orchids. You don't want the plant in water unless the plant puts itself there. And I will explain that one another time if you have questions. But right now, I am filling it in with some moss, primarily, and some more of that. And this is really a Phalaenopsis mix that I use. And I'm just using that as a top dressing for the sphagnum. But they're gonna mostly receive their moisture from the moss and from the humidity. These plants do appreciate about 50 to 60% humidity year round. So that's pretty much the gist of it. Make sure you are aware of where the tag is. And I'm gonna add a little bit more moss. And really, that's it. So, here's the tag. And there's room for future little babies to grow out in either direction. And it will get a good water placed in a bright shade location. And wait for new growth, new roots, and then begin regular fertilization and regular cultural regime. Thanks for watching and enjoy your orchids. Bye.